Hi everyone, welcome back to my lab and today's video, which is going to be my April favorites. I haven't been wearing makeup that often this month, but when I have been wearing makeup, these specific items have been on repeat, so I wanted to share those with you. Before we get into the video, if you're new here, I'm Yori. Thank you so much for clicking on this one. I hope you're going to enjoy it. Consider subscribing to my channel so you can join me for a future one. Now, without any further delay, let's go ahead and get into it. The first item I wanted to share is from Tilbury, and I don't have the specific name of the product on the packaging itself, but it's basically an under eye brightener, and I have mine in the shade number 2, which is the medium shade, and I think it comes in about 3 different shades. It's basically a peachy corrector, so there's the shade that I'm wearing. I like to wear this underneath my eyes for a little bit of brightening so that I don't have to wear too much concealer. If I overdo it with concealer, yes, I'm able to hide my under eye circles, but then I suffer from creasing because I have really wrinkly under eyes, and so I would rather go in with a really light layer of a corrector and brightener like this, and then not wear so much concealer, and I found that I don't have as much problems with creasing. So like I said, I don't know the exact name of the product, so I will link it in the description box down below along with all these other favorite products in case you want to check any of them out. Basically what I do is I just go in with my finger and I tap underneath my eyes and I apply concealer over it, and I've been really enjoying the effect that this gives. Speaking of under eye concealer, I have this one from Kosis, and this one, goodness, I don't have the exact name of this one either, but it is just their under eye concealer. They only have one in their line. I picked mine up in the shade 5.5, and what I like about this concealer is that it is hydrating but not overly hydrating, so you're not going to feel something like you might feel with the e.l.f. hydrating concealer. That one is a little bit thicker, a little bit more emollient, but you're also not going to feel something as dry as, say, the Hourglass concealer. It's a very nice in between, so I have found that it's a really nice lightweight concealer for every day, and it looks good whether or not I'm wearing foundation. A lot of the times, like when I'm going to work and things like that, I will wear concealer but no foundation, and it blends out really nicely. The shade 5.5 is a little bit more brightening but not overly so it still looks natural even if I'm not wearing foundation, and I just really like the way it blends. The applicator is really nice. It's just got a flat doe foot applicator, very similar to the Urban Decay Naked concealer, which was discontinued, but I really have been enjoying the shade. And one thing that I found with these, because I did get a chance to swatch these in stores, is that they have very olivey and yellow undertones. So maybe if you have a pink undertone, you might have a harder time finding your shade, but if you have a more olive or neutral undertone, these concealers might work out really well for you, and I really love this one. It's been a really good one this month. Moving right along, let's talk about a foundation. This is something that I've had in my collection for more time than I care to admit. I bought it because of Samantha Ravndal. It is the Burberry. For this one, I do have a name. It is the Fresh Glow Foundation from Burberry. They used to carry this at Sephora and they don't anymore. I actually did buy mine from Sephora. I picked mine up in the shade number 34, Warm Nude. I should mention that I'm wearing the Tilbury under eye corrector, I'm wearing the Kosis concealer, and I am wearing this foundation today. So if you like the way that my complexion is looking, these are the products that I'm wearing. I wanted you to see how they look applied, obviously. Now when you look at this bottle, it looks like it doesn't have that much product, but actually a lot of it is hidden inside the cap. And what I love about this foundation is that the shade match was great. I picked up number 34, so if we're shade twins, this one's gonna work really well for you. The bottle is really beautiful too. It's heavy. It's a really pretty bottle. But what I like about it is that it blends really easily. It's a liquid foundation and it's a little bit more watery in consistency, so when you apply it, you want to blend it out right away, and a little bit does go a long way, especially if you like lighter coverage like I do. You can really get a little bit to spread out and cover a large amount of your face, and it gives you a really natural, lightweight, perfected, and dewy finish, which is my preference. So yeah. If you've caught a glimpse of my highlighter on camera, it's this one by Nabla. This is the Nabla Skin Glazing Glass Skin Finish Glow Powder, and this one is in the shade Ozone. It's such a pretty packaging. I didn't think I was gonna like it. When I was looking at it in pictures, I thought maybe it looked a little bit cheap, but it's a really nice like plastic or acrylic kind of packaging, and when you open it up, you can see the name of the brand there, and this one is in the shade Ozone. Now, in a haul video some time ago, I hauled the shade Privilege, which is more of a rose gold pinky tone kind of highlighter, and this one, which is in the shade Ozone, is more of a champagne. When I was working with the shade Privilege, I liked it, but I didn't love it. I think it's just not the right shade for me, like not the perfect shade, but this one really is. It blends into the skin and it just gives you a really nice dewy glow. There's no shimmer, just a glow, and I really enjoyed this one. I really like this shade much more than the other ones, so check out the shade Ozone from Nabla if you haven't already. In my last couple of videos, you know I like to wear false lashes. I haven't been wearing super dramatic eye looks, but I think it's really important for me to still wear false lashes on camera. It makes my eyes stand out a little bit more because I have very small eyes, and when I'm not doing like a cut crease or something really bold on my eyes, I prefer my eyelashes to be a little bit natural, and I find that the Kiss Ritzy lash is just perfect for that. I do trim them just a little bit because I don't want them to be too close to my inner tear duct or else my eyes will water, but I feel that something about this lash really blends in with my natural lashes really well, and when I press the lashes together, sometimes you can't even tell I'm wearing falsies unless you really focus on the outer corner. It just gives me that cat eye lifted effect. They're very light, they don't bother me, they don't make my eyes feel heavy in any kind of way. So if you like wearing lashes every day just to enhance what you already have, this is a great place to start. The band is an invisible band, so it's a lot easier to hide even if you don't wear winged eyeliner. I just love these, and if you take care of them, you can reuse them quite a few times, and you can often catch these on sale at Ulta Beauty. I really love these. I bet they've been in a favorites video before, but I've been wearing them again, and I have a couple of sets in my collection because these are just my go-to when I don't know what else to wear. So yeah, I highly recommend the Kiss Ritzy Lash. I've also got a setting mist to share with you today. This one is from Versali, and it is the Rose Gold Skin Mist, and you can see if I shake it up, it's got these gold flecks in there that have absolutely no purpose really. Now, this specific mist is great if you like a dewy finish. This is one of the most luminous skin mists that I have ever used. I'm trying to think if I know of one that has been more dewy. I would say that the only one that I've had that is more dewy than this one would be the Pixie Glow Mist. That one gives me a downright like greasy, oily effect, but this is the one that I'm using today, and you can see that it sets my makeup to give it a very glowy look, but I don't think I look greasy, and I have a dry skin type, so I'm really constantly chasing that dewy finish. I really like this one. I got it in a BoxyCharm sometime back, and I've been working my way through it. I don't use too much of it, but I am working my way through it, and I think that this is one product that I would like to repurchase, even though it's pricey. It's just really pleasant to use, and I really love the finish that it gives my skin. The luminosity is really, really nice, and it doesn't get to the point where it shortens the longevity of my makeup. It just gives me that luminous glow. Another BoxyCharm find is this one from IGK. This is the Good Behavior Spirulina Protein Smoothing Spray, and it says that it's a keratin-like treatment in a can, 24 hours frizz control, and heat protection up to 450 degrees. When I wear my hair like this, it has been blow dried and flat ironed, and I've really been enjoying this. This was a surprise. I'd heard other people use this on their channels and recommend it, so I always had it on my wish list, but I have a lot of hair products kind of all over the place, and so I didn't want to invest in a new hair product right then, but when it came in my BoxyCharm, I was really happy to try it out. And basically, it's an aerosol spray that is a little bit of a heat protectant and an anti-frizz product. So if you apply it to your hair, it's not that your hair will dry naturally frizz-free, but it does reduce the frizz and it protects your hair against heat styling, which I definitely have to do. And I find that the heat style lasts a little bit longer. And even after some of my workouts, my hair is still somewhat passable despite the fact that I get really, really sweaty. This kind of extends the style of my hair, and I really like it. The only thing I have to warn you about is the smell. When I first used it, I can't say I liked the smell, but I really couldn't relate it to anything else. But then I started reading reviews, and people were saying that this reminds them of bug spray. And then once I read that, I couldn't get it out of my mind. It kind of does have a little bit of a bug spray-esque scent, but it's not a scent that lingers. I would just, kind of spray it in your hair in a well-ventilated area. And once you start actually styling your hair, the smell doesn't linger. But at first, yeah, it smells a little bit like bug spray. Another thing I've been really enjoying is doing my nails. Like, look at this. I've had my really long nails for so long, but since we've been pretty much in the stay-at-home order, I had to take off my powder dip manicure because it was so grown out. It was looking really bad. It took me forever to take it off, I have to admit, but my daughter had some like ultra strength acetone and I was able to soak off my polish. But when I did, my nails were really thin, and just polishing them at that length, I knew that they were gonna break, and they were gonna break, you know, kind of like halfway up your nail bed when it really hurts. And so I just decided to take the initiative and cut my nails myself, and I've been polishing them, and I've been really enjoying switching the color up a little bit more frequently. Although, you know, the chipping is kind of irritating, but I'm getting better at polishing them, and I'm thinking that maybe once this is all over, it would be a really great way to save a little bit of money and doing my own manicures at home. Why not? And doing your eyeshadow with your fingers, I've been missing out because I try with my long nails, but it's very hard. And now, what a difference. Definitely enjoying having my shorter nails. I do have a food item to share with you as well. Another thing that I'm missing from not being able to go out is my coffee house coffees, you know, my Starbucks and you know, all the fancy coffees. I really enjoy those. I do have a Keurig at home, but it's not the same. It's not the same. But I did find this type of coffee. It's from Javalia, and it comes in these sets. I bought mine on Amazon, and they have different flavors. This one is the cappuccino flavor, and it's made for Keurig, and basically it gives you a frothy coffee drink from your Keurig. So you would put the K-cup in the Keurig like you normally would, but you pour this little powder packet into your cup right before the coffee starts coming out, and this gives you the froth. So it feels like a more upscale kind of coffee drink right at home, and so I really, really enjoy that. So I typically will use one packet of Splenda and my Javalia coffee, and it's delicious. I really enjoy it. I like the foamy quality of it. I think it's really good. So I find mine on Amazon. You can find them at any grocery stores. For the most part, I've kind of tried to avoid going into grocery stores as well. So it's kind of nice to mimic the experience a little bit at home. I really like these. That's everything for my favorites for this month. I know that it's not too much, but all the products that I recommended were top notch. I will leave those linked in the description box down below in case you want to check any of those out for yourselves. I would love to hear what your favorites are this month and what you've been up to, what habits you've adopted or eliminated while you've been sort of under your stay-at-home orders. Very curious to know how you're holding up. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if so, don't forget that big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I hope you're doing really well and staying healthy, and I look forward to seeing you again really, really soon on my next one. Bye-bye.